One podcaster told Joe Budden he's the worst rapper on the planet, and another punched him on live television at a reality show reunion. These are 11 times rappers checked Joe Budden for being disrespectful. In 2017, Migos was untouchable. Bad and Bougie had taken over every radio station, every club, every playlist. Culture was certified platinum, and the trio was riding into the BET Awards as nominees for Best Group. They were on top of the world, but then they ran into Joe Budden and DJ Academics from Everyday Struggle on the red carpet. Now, Joe had been talking reckless about trap music for months on his show, questioning the artistry, calling it repetitive, basically acting like the new wave wasn't real hip-hop. Migos knew about all of it, and they weren't about to let it slide.
I feel like there's like a running joke with you being left off Bad and Bougie.
I ain't left off Bad and Bougie. You think I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Say again?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Academics brought it up like it was a joke. The Takeoff got left off Bad and Bougie meme that had been running wild on social media. But Takeoff wasn't playing along, not even a little.
What'd you say?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Nah. I mean, that's one thing I like about the group, because ever since when you were in jail, even though you might see one or the other, y'all move as a collective.
Meanwhile, Joe had been standing there silent the whole time, looking visibly irritated with how things were going. He'd had enough.
All right, we got to wrap this up, though.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Happy trying to jump.
I didn't
wrap
hear
it up
anything
then.
over there too. Close it.
Close it.
Hey, listen, man. I wish I could talk to the Migos longer, man. It's one of my favorite groups.
Then Joe did the unthinkable. He dropped his mic and walked off mid-interview, completely disrespecting the Migos, and they instantly checked him for it.
I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded, man.
Hey, man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show.
Wait. No. Wait.
The footage spread like wildfire. That one moment sparked a beef that played out for years. Social media wars, subliminal shots, the whole nine. All because Joe underestimated who he was dealing with. But confrontations on red carpets are one thing. When this next rapper got hit with disrespect on Joe's podcast, he didn't just argue back, he schooled the entire room on what real leadership looks like. When Jeezy pulled up to Everyday Struggle, everybody expected the usual interview. Talk about the album, maybe some old stories. Keep it light. But Jeezy had other plans. He came to drop jewels. And he wasn't leaving until Joe Budden and Academics understood the difference between talking about the culture and actually doing something for it. See, Joe had been critiquing young rappers for months, calling out their lyrics, questioning their authenticity, acting like he had all the answers. But Jeezy wasn't hearing it, not from somebody who wasn't in the trenches.
You know what I'm saying? I listen to y'all, up here critiquing, just like, it's crazy because it's like you're critiquing some but these kids out here trying to figure their lives out.
Jeezy wasn't letting up. He explained that the same kids Joe was criticizing would be the ones tearing up communities if they didn't have music as an outlet.
These the same that'll be robbing your ass if they ain't have no outlet. These same people that'll be tearing up the communities and doing the real gangsta out here if they didn't have that music outlet.
The energy in the room shifted. Jeezy wasn't there to promote anything. He was there to educate. He made it clear that talking about problems means nothing if you're not actually helping people.
We right back to our situation, you know what I'm saying? We right back here. We're dealing with the same issues, if not even worse. And it's like, there's no need to rap about it, but what are you gonna get out here and do out here in the world?
Joe and Academics were quiet. They didn't have a comeback because Jeezy wasn't just talking. He was speaking from experience, from years of actually being in those communities, actually giving back.
I don't give a man. They ain't like, this ain't, I'm not in no popularity contest. Like, man, listen, bro, I'm highly blessed, highly favored. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here living my best life. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand where I come from.
Jeezy made one thing crystal clear. He's not an MC trying to win rap battles. He's a leader. And leaders don't sit behind microphones judging people. They get out there and make a difference.
we can rap about it all day, but that's only gonna fat my pockets. You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna do though? Am I gonna pull them up? Am I gonna help them out?
By the time Jeezy left, Joe and Academics had been thoroughly checked. Not with disses, not with threats, but with truth. Jeezy showed them that everybody wants to be a boss, but there ain't enough leaders. But if Jeezy's check was about leadership, this next confrontation was about something even more personal: happiness itself. When this young rapper sat across from Joe, he refused to let a bitter old head tell him how to feel about his own life. In May 2017, Lil Yachty pulled up to Everyday Struggle riding high. He was 19 years old, had millions in the bank, cars, jewelry, and the world at his feet. When Joe asked him how he was doing, Yachty kept it simple. He was happy, but Joe couldn't accept that answer.
Then I don't care about the business part. I care about how Yachty feels.
I'm telling you how I feel.
You're giving
happy
me
every day.
Wait, say that.
Happy. I'm happy every day because life is moving in such a positive way. I can't get slowed down.
Joe immediately dismissed it. He accused Yachty of being media trained and giving fake answers. But Yachty wasn't backing down.
Let me tell you about how humans are.
Okay, I'm listening.
Feelings are fickle. What that means is they come and they go. Nobody is one thing forever. You cannot tell me, you would be lying to tell me that as a young man, how old are you?
19.
In this industry, in this music industry, in the music business, you are happy 24/7.
Joe tried to explain that with all the pressures of fame, nobody could genuinely be happy all the time. But Yachty flipped it right back on him.
And you come to having 3-4 cars, you got millions of dollars, $500,000 on your body just to wear, and any kind of clothes you want, and you want, how could you be upset?
Because I don't think that's where your values lie. That's why.
That's where you have a problem.
Joe admitted he'd said some harsh things about Yachty before the interview. He even acknowledged it might have been too much. But when he tried to walk it back, Yachty wasn't letting him off easy.
I thought it was harsh because I do believe that there's an entire community of hip hop that y'all are in charge of, right? So, is that sounding old guy mad still?
No, it sounds like you know you with me trying to bring it back.
I ain't
what you said. Let me tell you.
Yachty held his ground the entire interview. He didn't raise his voice, didn't get disrespectful. He just refused to let Joe's negativity define his reality. And that composure, that was the real check. Joe came in trying to expose Yachty as fake and left looking like the bitter one. But if Yachty checked Joe with composure, this next superstar came with receipts. When Nicki Minaj invited Joe to Queen Radio, she wasn't there to have a friendly chat. She was there to hold him accountable for everything he'd ever said about her. For years, Joe Budden had been running his mouth about Nicki Minaj on his podcast, calling her a liar, questioning her authenticity, implying she was on drugs after the BET cypher, all from behind a microphone where she couldn't respond. But in August 2019, Nicki decided to flip the script. She invited Joe to Queen Radio, face to face, and what happened next became one of the most intense moments in hip-hop media history.
The most annoying human being on the planet is here today. Introduce yourself and introduce your team, sir.
Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Joe Budden.
It started cordial enough, but Nicki wasn't there to play nice. She had a mission to address every single time Joe had called her a liar on his platform.
First of all, one of the things we're going to address with Joe Budden is the amount of times that he has called me a liar about stuff that I wasn't lying about.
Joe tried to explain his comments were about the music industry in general, not her specifically. But Nicki wasn't buying it. She had the receipts ready.
Example is when I explained how motorsport came about. And you were one of the people who, I believe, it might have been you and your sidekick Academics.
When Joe denied saying certain things, Nicki had her team pull up the actual clips from his show. And that's when things got heated.
No, but do you believe that Nicki Minaj at that point, this song that came out, Motorsport, do you believe that Nicki Minaj was aware that Cardi B was going to
Okay, wait, hold on. Do you have a twin or a stunt double?
Wait, I stand by that.
Do you have a twin or a stunt double, my
Joe had just been caught, on tape, saying exactly what he claimed he never said. And his response? He tried to change the subject, but Nicki wasn't having it.
So let's just talk about that part. That's all.
I keep trying to, and you won't let
No,
me.
because you trying to go somewhere else, and then you trying to go somewhere else, and I am not anybody else that you've had a discussion with.
The tension boiled over. Nicki called him out for never acknowledging when he's wrong, for tearing down women he can't control, and for hiding behind his podcast.
What the you won't do is disrespect me like I'm stupid. Because you know how intelligent and powerful I am, like you said, right? I'm so powerful, right?
By the end of it, Joe had no comeback. Nicki had proven her point. You can talk all the reckless stuff you want from behind a microphone, but when you're face to face with the queen, you better come correct. But podcasts aren't the only place Joe has gotten checked. When this next rapper showed up to Hot 97, he caught Joe slipping in the hallway and made sure the cameras captured every second of it. The tension between Joe Budden and Consequence had been building for months. Comments in interviews, shots on radio shows, energy that was about to boil over. Then Hot 97 put them both in the same building, and the cameras were rolling. Consequence had been making comments about Joe's girl and his situation on Love and Hip Hop, and Joe wasn't the type to let things slide.
We can do it now.
I just felt like whatever got thrown out, it was just like, man, I seen you at the joint, and I didn't get into it on the air, but we spoke a while ago about even doing like some shows in San Diego.
Joe walked up to Consequence to address everything. The hallway got quiet. Nobody knew which way this was gonna go.
No doubt. I mean that's what it was. Because man, Rocky, like I said, I found out that that's hold on, like I said, Rocky been out here running her mouth, talking about her like a dog. So went up there on gas.
Joe made it clear. He takes things personal. He lives this life, and he's not about to let anyone talk reckless without addressing it face to face.
As long as there's nothing, it's nothing. We don't look for problems.
Anytime there's ever something, I will be the first to solve.
The conversation stayed calm, but the energy was heavy. Joe laid down the rules. Don't cross him in public, and there won't be any problems.
Like I said on Vlad, we're on the same show. In my business mind, I would never cross you in public. You know what I'm saying? And I felt crossed about that.
But you crossed me in public.
No, I didn't cross you in public.
The confrontation stayed verbal that day, but the Hot 97 incident was just the appetizer. When Joe and Consequence ended up at the same reunion taping for Love and Hip Hop New York, all that tension finally exploded. It happened during a break in filming. Joe was outside with Tahiri, and Consequence pulled up with energy nobody was expecting.
Here's what happened during the commercial break.
Security rushed in to separate them, but the damage was done. The footage spread everywhere. Consequence had done what a lot of people talked about but never actually did. He checked Joe Budden physically, not just verbally. The beef eventually got squashed at a club months later, but that moment, that went down in Love and Hip Hop history. But physical confrontations are one thing. When this legendary Mobb Deep member decided to go at Joe Budden, he didn't need his hands. His words alone were enough to start an all-out war. The beef between Joe Budden and Prodigy from Mobb Deep was one of those situations where shots were fired from both sides. It started when Prodigy went on camera and called Joe one of the worst rappers in the game. Joe saw the interview, and he had thoughts.
If you see it, you probably know why he's talking like that. He looks like he's on some other type of drug. Like honestly, he looks sick. He looks bad.
Joe wasn't holding back. He compared Prodigy to a hip-hop version of Bobby Brown, someone with classic hits in the stash. But today, you look at him and wonder what happened.
Prodigy is like, he's like the hip-hop version of Bobby Brown or something. Like got joints in the stash, hit records you gotta always remember and always play, and classic joints, but today you look at him like, this nigga doing?
But what did Prodigy actually say to spark all this? When asked who the worst rapper on the planet was, P didn't hesitate.
The worst. Who's the worst rapper on the planet? Oh God, I think Joe Budden is on that line. He's on that edge right there being the worst.
P kept going, questioning Joe's whole approach to the game. The million bars, the million mixtapes, all of it.
Joe Budden, like you're doing 1,000,000 bars, 1,000,000 mixtapes. Some people actually think that's hot.
He looks like he's on some other type of trouble.
Joe's response? He wasn't going to waste bars on Prodigy. He pointed out that P had beefed with Jay-Z, Nas, and Tupac, and lost every single time. Why would Joe give him the satisfaction of a response record?
Name me somebody who Prodigy is beefed with, right? In rap, and came away a winner. Somebody. You two smack. Anybody. Jay, Nas, Pac. Who? Nobody. You can't think of one. Game for well over 10 years, and you can't think of one.
To this day, that clip of Prodigy calling Joe the worst still circulates whenever someone wants to question Joe's credentials as a rapper. But Joe made his point clear. He wasn't about to give Prodigy the war he was looking for. But criticism from a legend is one thing. When Joe performed in Boston and disrespected the entire local hip-hop scene, he found out real quick that some cities don't play that. When Joe Budden showed up to perform in Boston, the local hip-hop community came out to support him. Opening acts held it down, the crowd was ready, everything was set for a good night. Then Joe walked on stage and decided to insult everybody.
All in the back that have nothing to do with Joe Budden, please exit stage left.
Joe wasn't finished. He started calling the stage a terrible festival and demanding that security clear everybody out. The crowd started getting hostile, and Joe doubled down, even mentioning Saigon and Mobb Deep like someone might be there to get him.
Get all these back away from me. It might be one of Saigon back there. And we gotta take security measures today. Might be back there.
Tensions rose so high that Joe actually addressed it directly, telling people if they wanted to fight, come up and fight.
I can fight though. Listen. B, we ready? I'm ready. Listen, we ain't worried about nobody talking shit. If they want to fight, come up here and fight. We ain't worried about none of that. Listen. Dollar. Are you good? DJ Dollar Dylan.
After the show, 8OG, the voice of Boston hip-hop, wasn't about to let Joe's behavior slide. He went on Vlad TV and broke down exactly what happened.
Comes on the stage, and his first remark is, I'm coming out here, early because, Cats was making me look bad. Talking about the opening acts. Bang. Problem number one.
The Boston legend made it clear. Joe should have handled it privately, not embarrassed people on stage. Edo didn't want violence. He wanted respect.
The point of the matter is, he could have, before he even walked on stage, he could have called me to the dressing room, called any of my partners to the dressing room.
Boston showed Joe that you can't just roll into somebody's city and disrespect the local scene without consequences. But if Joe thought Boston was tough, wait until you see what happened when Inspecta Deck from Wu-Tang got on stage at Rock the Bells. The beef between Joe Budden and Wu-Tang had been brewing over comments Joe made about Method Man. At Rock the Bells 2009, Inspecta Deck decided it was time to address it in front of thousands of fans.
I want to just ask one question, right? Because I put a song out a few days ago because this my brother. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to my nigga ain't a made man in this building.
Deck polled the crowd, asking if anyone thought he was whack, a one-hit wonder, or nothing without Wu-Tang. The response was deafening support for Deck.
How many of y'all respected Deck make some noise, man? How many of y'all think Deck is whack lyrically? How many of y'all think Deck is a one-hit wonder?
Then came the knockout punch.
Joe Budden.
Let's go. You know he gonna see that, man. They're gonna have a discussion. You and the man.
After the show, Deck broke down the situation further, revealing that Joe had actually apologized to him. But it didn't matter.
A little dude in a big world with us. What is he, son? He's a little dude in a big world with us. What? Yeah. He wanted to apologize to me. I said, yo, come apologize to me. I respect you as a man apologizing.
Deck made it clear, you don't come for Wu-Tang and expect no consequences. But Wu-Tang wasn't the only group Joe had beef with. This next rapper's clash with Joe started over a single bar and turned into one of the most personal feuds in mixtape history. The beef between Saigon and Joe Budden started over a single bar. Joe dropped a line on his track roll call that referenced an infamous incident: Saigon punching one of the Mobb Deep members at a concert and running off. The footage was all over YouTube and Joe used it as a punchline. When asked about it, Joe explained his side.
Saigon, you know what I'm saying? He had a blog and basically he said he was gonna smack Earth, Wind, and Fire out of you because of the lyrics you said in the freestyle on BET. Which lyrics was he referring to? And you know what I'm saying? Can you explain like exactly?
Joe claimed he didn't mean anything personal by it, but Saigon took it as a direct shot. He fired back with a blog post threatening to smack Earth, Wind, and Fire out of Joe. And when Saigon got in front of a camera, he didn't hold back.
I just had this little boy, this little sucker ass who felt like, you know, he wanted to call me out. And now he's running around talking about I begged him to stop.
Saigon made it clear this wasn't about rap battles. This was personal. He wasn't interested in trading bars with someone he didn't respect.
Please, man, you gonna be the one begging for me to take my foot out your ass. You gonna be the one begging. And Lord willing, he don't send me to jail because he's getting locked up.
Joe's response? He even went as far as to apologize in an interview, but claimed Saigon probably never even heard the original line and that other people put the battery in his back.
In the interview, I even went as far as to apologize to him for him feeling some type of way about it. But I mean, personally, I don't even think he heard it. I think the battery in his back. But I don't really give a f.
The beef eventually cooled down, but Saigon made his point. Don't put his name in your mouth unless you're ready to deal with the consequences. But speaking of dealing with consequences, this next rapper decided to flip the script on Joe completely by reading his own lyrics back to him in the most disrespectful way possible. Joe Budden had been going at Logic for years, calling him one of the worst rappers ever, questioning his authenticity, even mocking his personal stories. So when Logic finally had enough, he decided to give Joe a taste of his own medicine.
Logic, you are easily one of the worst rappers to ever grace the microphone. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Here's a Joe Budden song. I'm gonna read it word for word like he read mine.
Logic pulled up Pump It Up and started reading the lyrics in the most monotone, unenthusiastic voice possible.
Pump, 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 pump it up. Pump, 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 pump it up.
Legends say that he is still going on until today. Then he got to the actual verses and started breaking them down bar by bar.
Look, pump it up if you came to get crunk with a dame and that's drunk.
Well, first of all, that's trouble. That's trouble, Mr. Budden. That's trouble, bro. That's trouble.
Yeah, you trying to get crunk with a girl that's drunk?
Logic wasn't just reading. He was analyzing and roasting every line.
I have no problem with Joe Budden. I'm just around. Joe's been an me.
This motherfucker said 23 new allegations.
Yeah. Joe Budden's always been with me. I have no problem with Joe Budden. This rap is a vibe. You know why it's a vibe? Because it was like 1987 when it came out.
By the end, Logic made his point clear. If you're gonna criticize other rappers' lyrics, your own catalog better be bulletproof. But the ultimate check on Joe Budden came from someone with even more industry power. When Birdman found out Joe was playing with Drake's name, he got on Clubhouse and delivered a warning that nobody saw coming. In 2023, Joe Budden criticized Drake's album For All the Dogs on his podcast. Drake fired back on Instagram, but it was Birdman who delivered the real check. On Clubhouse with Wack 100, Birdman made it crystal clear where he stood.
I hit you because I want you to stop playing with my partner, Future.
Hold on.
Oh, man.
He hit
Turn
me.
the up, Stunner.
So he hit me with the, and I knew it because
I want you to stop playing with Savage.
Birdman laid it out. He called Wack to get him to back off people under his umbrella. And when it came to Drake specifically, Birdman didn't mince words.
Joe Budden ain't got a hit since Carter had Love Pills.
Say, bro, tell Joe Budden to calm down. I don't have no ill feelings with Joe Budden. I personally always respected Joe Budden. I don't have nothing ill about Joe Budden. But he can't play with the GOAT.
Birdman made it clear. Criticism is one thing, but disrespect is something else entirely.
And if you playing with the GOAT, then you want a problem. If you want a problem, we'll give you a problem. On God, we'll give you one. But if you want one, we'll give you one. But besides that, we don't want to give you a problem. But if you want a problem, we'll give you a problem with the GOAT. Because we respectable men. We honorable men. We not dishonorable men. But if you play, then we gonna play.
The message was received. When one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop tells you to watch your mouth, you listen.